All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? I am Anthony Bawn. I play Angel on Conframa. I have my wonderful co-director and business partner, Spencer Collins, on here, and am so delighted and excited to have John on here. Introduce yourself, John.
Hey everybody, I'm John Devereaux. I play Derrick. I played Derrick on the first season of Conframa.
Yes, on the first season of Conframa. Wow. Okay, so how long has it been? Has it been like what, 3 years?
3 years. It has to be about. That's crazy. At 2019, it's about to be 22. It's like 2.5 years.
Oh my gosh. So where are you now? Like, where do you currently reside?
Well, right now I'm on tour with Hamilton, and yeah,
Nice.
that's what I was doing before.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's great here. I love being on the road. But during the pandemic, I was actually staying in Houston, in my hometown.
Nice.
And that was great. It was great being at home, being with my family, and really starting something other than theater, other than acting. You know, I just got to sit down and be for a little while.
Nice. Well, I'm excited for you. I know that you're going to be amazing. I've already seen you little tidbit. I seen you perform in Japan in Dreamgirls.
I remember that.
Yeah, we came there to see you guys, and it was really, really great. That was my first time in Tokyo, Japan, and I've always wanted to go there as a child, so I was so glad I was able to go there. So I definitely want to make a revisit again very, very soon. Okay, so I'm gonna get into it. So you played Derrick on the very first season of Conframa. So really quickly, briefly talk about your experience of the character. Like, you know, just like what was your techniques of getting into character? Some questions that weren't answered that you want to ask now about the character. You know, some of those things.
Oh yeah. Derrick is very different than what my personality is. You know, Derrick is this character who is quite controlling, very aggressive, very overbearing, and that's just not my stilo. That's not me. But the thing is, with being an actor, you know, you can tap into certain things in certain circumstances. Everybody's can be anything in certain circumstances. So with Derrick, I really wanted to do some research on domestic violence. Like what makes people get to that point of hurting somebody that they love? Do they love this person? Do they want to control this person? Are they just mad at something else? Does this person have nothing to do with their situation? They're just putting out all this frustration on them.
Right.
And I did some research. I really dove into the mind of someone who is a domestic abuser and victims of domestic abuse.
So say a little more about that. That's really good. Say a little bit more about that.
Okay. Yeah. The difference in the nuances in we will never know everybody's story. Everybody has a story, you know, and there's so many different factors, such as upbringing, such as past relationships, how you were viewed, something that might have been said to you once as a child or once as when you were in a very vulnerable spot. And I say you, general you, if you're in the mind of an abuser, it's something, because with every character, you don't want to judge the villain. If you're playing the villain, it's not coming from a place of, I'm the bad guy and I gotta play dad. I gotta do these things to make people hate me. Finding out what that villain's message is, what they're hurting through, because everybody is. I believe that everybody is out here trying to get what they need. Yes. And what is the base root of what this person needs? Right. And that was for me, I don't want to say a lot of fun, but as an actor, it was just that's the kind of work that I love to do. Like if you give me a character like Derrick, I can like dissect and dive in. And what I found out from my research was that most abusers come from a place of lack of control. Like they don't have control in their own life. So they put that out onto one person or onto someone else. Or I think mainly that throughout my research, that's what I found was that most abusers don't have control in other parts of their lives. So they have to get control in other places.
So talk about the relationship in the show. So Derrick was in a polyamorous relationship with Chase and also Ashley. So like just add that element on top of it. So just adding on to that, like talk about like as an actor or as for the character, like what was your experience like, with being in a polyamorous relationship and dealing
that's
with that?
Also abusive. Yeah, that's something that's so, I've not personally heard or experienced that situation, but the way that it kind of compounds all the issues when you're in a polyamorous relationship. It kind of compounds all of the insecurities that Derrick may have. Mm-hmm. Now he has two people. So it's amplified even more. So he has to feel like he has to control not only the two of them, but the relationship as a whole. That's why when, in spoiler alert, we see Chase and Ashley doing their thing together. Right. That's why Derrick gets mad too. It's like, it adds another sense of insecurity. Like, oh, these two people are going to end up together. So it's really about that insecurity, about lack of control. So he goes overboard with that. And with a polyamorous relationship, it's two different sides. Like you've got boys going after Chase, you've got boys and girls going after Ashley. And in his mind, in Derrick's mind, he has to get control. And the only way he can get control is by breaking these two down so far that they believe that they're nothing, that they'll never, that Derrick is the only person that they can be with.
It's so funny you say that because it's that the level of communication that is required for these type of relationships, especially polyamorous relationships. A lot of people don't understand that it requires communication in order for some of these things to be successful. My next question is that, so seeing the season play out as a whole, like share a little bit of your thoughts of like is it some things that you didn't expect or some things that you expected, or how did you feel about it?
With the way it played out, this would really Conframa is like the first scripted series that I've really seen out there that really addresses polyamorous relationships and gay polyamorous relationships, bisexual, pan, whatever, right? And the way that it was going, it really brought up different aspects and issues in polyamorous relationships. But to me, reading this stuff, I was shook mostly at how things played out at the end of season 1, because it really took it. There's like a slow bubble with all of the issues about the polyamory and Chase going off to do his own thing with another polyamorous. Like that gagged me. I'm like, what are you doing? It was a ride. Nothing shocked me in the beginning, but towards the end, when things started popping off, all the seeds that were planted started coming to harvest. So, yeah, it's really good. I'm honored to be a part of it.
I appreciate you being a part of it because, as everyone know, it's not easy to create a show. It's not easy to to have it come across as it being something that people would be interested in watching. And your character in the show, for some reason, spoke volumes to a lot of people. Like a lot of people had your reaction when it came to when they talked about the polyamorous relationship. Like a lot of people said that, oh, well, I feel how Derrick felt because this is what's happening and the lack of communication and he dipping off of here and people not necessarily understanding that, realistically at the subculture of everything, it's about survival. It's really about survival because you're trying to survive. The other two people that you're living with, they're trying to survive. And if your perception is that you feel that you're trying to take control and they feel like they're losing control and they're trying to survive.
That's why it's so cool, the intricacies and the nuances. And that's why I go back to that's why I didn't want to just play it as angry, as thing, because it is so nuanced. And with shows, you have to know the style, you have to fit in with the tone of the show. And if you're already working on these intricacies in the earlier part of the show, I have to do the same. I have to do the same finessing that all the other characters and all the work that you've done.
How did everything that you've done from, of course, Conframa, leading all the way up to Hamilton, prepare you for what you're doing right now?
He was already a badass before he got into Conframa.
I see that. Even when you watch the show, the choices that you made as an actor for Derrick's role, you can see that, you use the word veteran. You have a right to use it. You used it shyly and humbly, but you clearly are a veteran to make the choices that you made to bring him to life. So again, how did everything that you do up until now, this point, how did it prepare you for your role in Hamilton, and which role are you playing?
Wow. It was about a 3-year process of me just auditioning for the show. And that was them adding on roles every time I went into audition and all that. But specifically, Conframa actually came at a time where it was a transitional time where I was actually leaving Los Angeles to go to New York. And Conframa was one of the last projects I did in Los Angeles in my time there. And being able to do a role like that, and I hadn't done a role like that on film or television in a long time. It had been more towards 2009, at the beginning of my career. I did a similar thing, but this was on another level. So to have that opportunity to work those skills and use those acting muscles again, it kind of was like a exclamation point for my time in Los Angeles. I was yeah, I did it. Los Angeles, done, I'm out. I went to New York, I took that momentum with me, and I was in New York for about maybe a week, 2 weeks, and I ended up getting a final dance call for Hamilton, and literally I was in New York for 3 weeks, and then I was on the road. So I didn't even really stay in New York. So the time from Conframa really was the jump off point. Conframa was the exclamation point on a chapter in my life that led to the next chapter.
Oh, wow. So dope.
And it informed and everything that had happened to me and for me in Los Angeles led to this, really.
The theater world is such a beautiful thing. I haven't, in my adult life, I've had very limited theater roles. After college, I That's when I kind of sort of had my theater roles. But then everything after that has kind of just been like television and film. And like I was telling Spencer, I definitely want to get back into the theater world because I feel like there is something, there's something there, you know, when you're on stage and, you know, it's just you're able to play a lot more than what you're doing than other than film. But
you get to feed off the audience and the synergy of it all and the energy. It's so much exchange that you don't have an opportunity to do in television and film because it's so technical. And although theater is technical, it's technical in a different way. Once you're on that stage, you're allowed the opportunity to just play and have fun. And you're encouraged to do something different every single time so that it doesn't become stale to you. As opposed to in TV, we need you to do it the same way so that when we're editing it, it all makes sense. So that's the thing that I love about theater is the opportunity to get to play and have fun. And the fact that, like I said, they trust you. I wanted you to break it down just so that we can reiterate what an amazing actor you are, to be trusted to do that. That's why I didn't want you to just breeze over it like it's not a big deal. That is freaking huge. And again, congratulations. And they couldn't have put it in the hands of a better actor. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And, you know, sometimes it's kind of like a bubble here on tour. We're doing it every day. It's like you do the show, you love it, but, you know, we don't hear that all the time. And we forget, like, this shit is hard.
It is.
Oh my God. You know,
it is hard.
I appreciate your words, and it's something that I wish more actors would know, and their skills and their talents. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, trivia.
Oh God.
Okay, let's get into the trivia. Here we go. I'm gonna give you a hint. All right, I'm gonna give you a hint. All right, so in the first season, the very last episode, what does Keisha have in her hand to attack you with?
A frying pan. No, wait, no. A spatula.
Okay, yes, that's correct. She had both a spatula and a frying pan.
What the fuck you want to do, Playboy?
Yes. All right. So next question. Also, in the last episode, Angel tells Keisha to hold what part of your body?
Hands. No, feet or ankles. Feet or ankles.
Get final answer?
Wait, yeah, feet or ankles, right? Right, that's my final answer.
Legs.
His legs, bitch, his legs.
I was working my way up. Feet, ankles, knee, leg.
Yeah, Angel asks Keisha to hold his legs.
Right.
Because she originally held your head first.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember. I was like, girl, I can't say my line.
Right. So, I mean, okay, so do you have any questions for us before we let you go?
Ooh. Oh man.
Just so you know, a little tidbit. Your character's name is continued throughout all of the seasons.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's in the back.
Yeah, it's continued. It's continued.
Wow. Well, now I really got questions. I really wanted to know, what does Conframa mean?
It means confusion and drama. It's a 80s term.
A mashup.
That was mashed up. That I got. This is a true story. Me and my husband was explaining something to one of our mentors. His name is Charles Cryer. And he was just like, y'all Conframa. And I was like, what? And
That's a
then
show.
I was like, what are you talking about? And I told him right then and there in the car, I said, Uncle C, I'm gonna make a show off of this. And he was like, oh, okay. I said, how do you spell it? And he said Conframa. I said, there you go.
And there you have
that has been on my mind for 3 years. Like, because it got to the point where I was like, it's a combination of things. Like, am I not thinking about what this means? Maybe it's a different language. I Googled it. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just not supposed to know. Maybe it's like an artistic thing that, and it had gotten to the point where it was like too late to ask at that point. Because I was like, I asked what the name of the title of this show means. And I've been on set for 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back. They won't bring me back.
No, trust me. A lot of people ask that same question, and I told them, I said that's what the show means. Wow. That's what it means. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this after show of Conframa. Please make sure that you stream season 3. That's going to be on Here TV starting November 19th. And also, please be sure, if you haven't caught up now, make sure you watch John in season 1 and catch up with the rest of the season of Conframa, now streaming on watchfilm.com. All right, guys, thank you so much and peace out.
Thank you, Mr. Devereaux.
Thank y'all.